Okay, part five. This is the global impact that implementing this change in Suriname will have. Now, of course, it could have the same impact as the regional impact did, just on a global level, where different developing countries around the world decide to implement a similar plan. However, what I want to focus on more is what this is going to do on an economic global level, I guess, because we definitely have the big powers in the world. I mean, you have America, you have China, you have um, Japan, or all these places who make the Sony devices or whatever, whoever does that. All these people who produce a lot of things. They're very developed. I mean, Switzerland, they're just great all around. They develop things. They have geniuses coming out of there. They're great into healthcare, things like that. So what this will do is it will kind of help to add Suriname to that same level, I guess, of global interaction, because at this point they have nothing really to offer the global world, um, because what they could offer, they can't make it accessible. But what we're going to see is as we implement this goal and we put money where it needs to be put and we manage that money, is we are going to see what's going to fix our millennial development goal problems. It's going to very much help to fix that. Working towards completion, obviously. And once those are fixed, is when you really can start worrying about, the other things, because of course you can't worry about your economic status if you're all starving to death. So there's definitely a hierarchy there. But what's going to happen is you're going to have more money um, for the people in general. Um, as we start to see better living conditions, we'll see people be able um, to make a reality out of these ideas that they have, and we'll start to see the flat world and come into Suriname and a 3.0 level. So person to person communication, which is going to make it so the tendrils of ideas can get from Suriname to the rest of the nation. I mean, think of what's happening in India. I mean, we talked about it a little bit in class, where um, there's no huge corporations that you're like, oh yeah, Sony, they're in India, like we would say with China, Sony's in China. Actually, I don't know where Sony is, somewhere in Asia. So, anyways, the point being that with people in India, because they are on a 3.0 level, they have the internet, they have this person-to-person communication. They can become entrepreneurs, sort of. They can promote their ideas, whatever they may be, to any part of the world. And once we can get that with Suriname, they will start to be taken more seriously by the rest of the world. Um, this will How this will impact the global world. Well, it'll get more ideas out there, better ideas, new ideas, better innovations. So the more countries we can get on the flat world model, I guess, the better our globalized world will be, I guess you could say. So it's definitely going to be a positive thing for the global world. Some possible problems is you kind of have to now work Suriname into the economic plan, I guess. There's all these rules of trade and regulation and whatnot. And you'll kind of have to go through the red tape, or do all the planning to make sure that Suriname has a place in this new world. Um, Something else that another way it'll be able to affect the globalized world is because right now Suriname has resources that they're not able to do a lot with because they don't have the infrastructure. I mean, they have oil, they have other natural resources, but once they have the infrastructure, which they can start to build up by budgeting correctly, um, they'll be able to influence the rest of the world with that alone. A lot of other places to go to for oil or for these other natural resources that aren't common in other places of the world. So it'll definitely be a positive thing, and that's a little bit of how it will impact the global world.